right. Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel, you guys. My name is Keisha and I'm here to update you guys on what's kind of been going on in my life lately. A couple of fun pumpkin patch farm-esque journeys or jaunts that I went on this weekend with a friend of mine. So it's more of like a cozy weekend vlog, little life update, that kind of thing, kind of catch you guys up in terms of where I've been, what I've been doing. So we will start with my hair, which I'm sure you guys can tell I got bangs. This was quite the decision for me because I've been on such a journey with my hair, just like allowing it to really grow out long. And it started to kind of feel like a Cocker Spaniel a little bit, like it was middle part, not a lot of face framing layers, started to get heavy the longer it would grow. And I was literally just feeling like a Cocker Spaniel. So I knew I wanted to freshen it up with something. Curtain bangs are trending. They look really good. I've got a 5 head. The bangs are working. The only thing with the bangs is that I'm still getting used to having hair on my face. It's a very peculiar kind of sensation. And then you have to style bangs. Otherwise, they just look terrible. So, picked myself up some new dry shampoo. I've been working on styling my bangs the way that my hairdresser told me to. And I think I'm kind of loving them. So, this is a little bit of a fresh, new fall look for me. And I'm excited. I haven't had bangs since I was like 18. So, and they were like very emo, like side bangs. So, this is very much a vibe for me. One moment. Okay, that was actually many moments for me. My girlfriend was coming home from working out. The dogs were freaking out. I hadn't eaten anything. It's been a day, you guys. We'll get into it. I was drinking my second coffee of the day. Now I am on to the winter edition of Red Bull, this iced vanilla berry, which earlier this year I was like running around trying to find this flavor in particular. But the States gets certain flavors before we get them in Canada. I've read on Reddit sometimes like a year before we'll even get them in Canada. So, yeah, it's not winter, it's very much fall, but finally this flavor has come out and I'm obsessed with it. So, here we are. Tino's coming to join us. So, that's my hair update. Bangs, very fun. Also, in one of my last videos or the video before that, I was chatting with you guys about how I'd quit vaping. I was going to say delighted to say, I am here to say, because I'm not quite sure how delighted I am today, but today officially marks a month of no vaping for me, which, yes, there's a part of me that is proud of myself and really happy that I've made it a month. There's another part of me that just woke up randomly today, and this happens during the sobriety journey where I'm just not feeling too great about it. I'm not feeling too great about it. It's like a chill, cozy Sunday where sitting at home prepping for my week and hitting the vape or going and having a workout would typically be a thing that I would do. And it's not because I don't have the vape, so I can still do all of those other things, sans vape, but it is still very different. Um, this week has actually been better. So if we like back it up a little bit, this week has been better in the last 4 or 5 days in terms of how I've been feeling about having quit the vape. Now, keep in mind, I'm not vaping, but I am still chewing on like nicotine gum. Not the basic like Nicorette or whatever, because it's disgusting in my opinion. But there's a couple brands now, one based out of Vancouver and then one based out of somewhere in the States, where they have really nice flavors. They're not disgusting, and you can get them in different like milligrams of nicotine gum. So the ones that I'm currently using are called Lucy's. And I've got pomegranate, I've got cinnamon, and wintergreen. All very, very lovely. I mean, I'm chewing them daily. I'd say right now I'm chewing around like depending on the day, 5 to 7 pieces a day. And it's helping. It's helping curb some of the mood swings and the irritability that comes with cravings. It's also helping me obviously not go back to the vape because I am still getting a very low dose of nicotine throughout my day, which helps with like the brain fog and the cravings, you name it. So I origin I don't say originally like that. I don't know why I pronounce that like that. Originally, I was going to give myself till the end of September, quit chewing the gum, and then basically go like on my way, just being a non nicotine girly. And then this morning I woke up and I was just in one of those moods where I'm like, oh, this really sucks that I've quit this thing. It's not feeling very good. I'm not super feeling like myself. It kind of sucks. And while I know I'm not going to like go to the vape store, get a vape, start vaping again, we're past that. This is the last time I'm quitting because I literally do not want to put myself through the torment that is this process ever again in my entire life. It's still hard. It's still hard some days. You know, my girlfriend came home and she was like, why don't you wear your bangs like this? And like, I was just not in the mood. And it was ironic coming from her because my girlfriend has a shaved head. She literally doesn't have any hair at all. And I was like, you know what? Normally, if I had my vape right now, you could tell me that you don't like the way that my bangs look, and I would just hit my vape and carry on with my day. Today, my feelings are hurt and I'm annoyed with you, and I don't have a vape, so you should probably stop talking. So, it was like one of those where you're like, I recognize I'm being very irrational right now, and yet I'm still being very irrational in this moment. I just like not feeling too hot. So, today has been an interesting one. Let's just say that the last 3 or 4 days, I've been feeling really good. I've barely thought about the vape. It's been lovely. It is this very back and forth kind of ping ponging of sorts. And I'm just crossing my fingers that over the course of the next few months, this feeling goes away because it kind of pops up out of nowhere and feels like it hijacks you a little bit. And what's frustrating is that, like, you obviously know, okay, well, if I were just to like go pick up a vape, then this feeling would go away. But because I'm on this quitting journey, it would then also be accompanied with feelings of like guilt and failure, which would want you like kind of make you feel like you want to vape even more. And then there goes the vicious cycle that is addiction. So that's a little update in terms of where I'm at with you guys around the vape. Again, 11 years I've been vaping, so I know it's going to take a little bit more than a month for me to shift out of that lifestyle because it is essentially a lifestyle, a habit, an addictive substance. And I'm just taking it. I'm taking it one day at a time, you guys. I truly also believe that vaping needs to be handled differently than smoking like classic cigarettes because the process of it is different, even though the substance is the same. So I will keep you guys posted on my feelings around that as I continue on my no vaping journey. But I feel like it's important to mention because I talk a lot about mental health on my channel. I work as an addictions counselor, and this shit's hard. And I know this shit's hard because I've lived it and I'm living it right now. And it's just one of those things. So I want to be very authentic and genuine in my journey with it in hopes that maybe it can help somebody else who's also going through making the decision to quit vaping. So that's another little life update piece for you guys. A little bookish update. I am reading Whatever Happened to Janie by Carolyn B. Cooney. It's the second book in her series following The Face on the Milk Carton. I am on page 55, chapter 7. So I haven't really made my way into this book too much. There's nothing wrong with it. I think perhaps as a result of like where my mood's been at lately, it's been hard for me to really get into a book. I'm still plugging away on my PTSD book. I'd say I'm about 50% of the way done that one. But I'm also like kind of highlighting it and reading it for work as well. So it's not like a fiction book. It's not like really a fun book. It is more for the purpose of learning. Whatever Happened to Janie so far is, Janie's now part 2, moving into being with her biological family because when she was 3 or 4 years old, she was kidnapped from a shopping center in New Jersey and only discovered last year when she was in high school living with what she thought was her parents, but turned out obviously not to be. Um, she was living with them and had no idea that she had even been kidnapped until she saw a picture of herself on a milk carton at school. So we are now moving into her meeting and living with her biological family and what that's like for her, what that's like from the perspective of some of her family members, what it's been like for them thinking that something had like horrible had happened to her and she had died, and then finding out that she was actually still very much alive and living like a very happy, normal life with another family. So that's where I'm at in this book. And I have officially picked, as of today, for my spooky book club with some of my friends, our book club pick. And it is All Hallows by Christopher Golden. So I'm very excited to be reading that with a couple of my friends for the month of October. I think it's like a 300 and some page book that takes place on Halloween night. So I will insert a picture of that here. I haven't ordered it yet. I still need to do that, but we literally just decided that that was the vote. So everybody got to vote. It was between that book and Horror Movie by Paul Tremblay. And this book won the vote. So this is what we're going to be reading for October. And then when my friends do get together and come over, I'm kind of combining that with our spooky craft night, because like moving into the tail end of the year and the beginning of next year is actually quite a busy season for counselors. So I'm like, you know what, let's just like combine them for some spooky book club and craft times with my friends. Which brings me into my next little update, which is I went to a pumpkin patch with one of my best friends yesterday, you guys. And when I tell you I had so much fun, that's actually such an understatement. So I ended up going with my friend, which I'll insert some like video footage that I got while we were there. I went over to her house in the morning. She made pumpkin pancakes for breakfast, and they were amazing. I'm not like a pancake girly. I honestly don't think I've had a pancake since I was like 12 years old, but she made these massive pumpkin pancakes, and they were delicious. So I went over and had breakfast with her and her husband. And then we were kind of just like putzing around before we got ourselves out to the farm, which was so cute and such a big plot of land that even though it was a Saturday and even though there was like parents and families with their children, like it did not feel busy and overwhelming. It actually just felt really lovely. So it's this beautiful farm. It's called Prairie Gardens if you're in Alberta. Um, they had like big bins of pumpkins and little kind of cute, kind of kitschy little haunted houses. And there was a train that you go on a train ride. It rode through the whole kind of farm area there. Um, they had goats and they had chickens, and you could feed like corn on the cob to the ducks. And there was a little corn maze and a sunflower maze and the pumpkin patch, which was so much fun. We probably spent like 45 minutes to an hour in the pumpkin patch. And I don't know if I mentioned this to you guys previously, but the last time I went to a pumpkin patch was in 2019 with my ex-girlfriend, and it was just like a very different experience. We created memories yesterday, me and my friend, that like definitely trump that experience. And it was just such a good time. We didn't anticipate that like going in to pick your own pumpkin, they would be attached to the vines and you would literally have to like break them off yourself. So thankfully I was wearing my wool sweater because the vines and the stems of the pumpkins were so pokey. They just like tiny, tiny little slivers just kept poking into my hand. So I was like at first using my knit sweater to try to like twist off these vines of the pumpkins. And then my friend remembered she had this like tiny, tiny little pink pocket knife. So we were able to start like using that to cut our little pumpkins off. But we were having so much fun. I'll show you guys a clip of the different types of pumpkins we picked up. Um, and my friend is like, my friend is pregnant. So I'm like in there, I'm kneeling down, I'm trying to get all the pumpkins. She's like picking her favorite pumpkins. And it was just such a good time. It was absolutely hilarious. At one point in time, I was trying to get this one pumpkin from like underneath these really thick, stocky vines that were very pokey. And I was using all of my might to like grab the pumpkin and rip it off of the vine. And when I tell you, I literally rolled backwards like a cartoon character and like rolled onto my back and fell into the pumpkin patch. It was the most hilarious thing. And I'm so glad that she was there to witness it. I couldn't stop laughing. She couldn't stop laughing, you guys. You really had to be there, but it was just such a good time, like really wholesome, festive fun. I think she went home with like 8 pumpkins. I went home with like 7. But they had so many different kinds. So I'll definitely show you guys clips of some of the pumpkins that I came home with. And then we ended up going to Michael's, the thrift store, and Home Sense, grabbed some lunch and just kind of bopped around to those stores. So I was able to pick up a lot of the pieces to decorate my spooky Halloween moon wreath. I wasn't able to find everything, but I did find a bunch of like kind of faux florals that I want to use when I do that craft with my friends at the end of October. So I'm feeling a little bit more prepared in that realm. And it's like conceptually things are starting to come together. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward to taking you guys along on the journey that is reading All Hallows, which will probably in the next week or so, because I mean, I guess I could read it alongside this one. Quite honestly, I'll probably start it as soon as it gets here because I'm just not super engaged with this book right now. And again, it could be a me thing. I really don't think it has anything to do with like the book or the author's writing. I think it's just where I'm at. I think it's just where I'm at right now, you guys. So it's Sunday. I want to get to editing this video. I have hoop later this evening. I'm also going to be sitting down, me and my girlfriend, and like kind of designing our life, which is a really fun concept that I heard back when I worked at Lululemon. And then also recently listened to a podcast on the Mel Robbins podcast where I can't remember the name of the gal. I can add it below. I'll look into it. But she had this gal on her podcast talking about designing your life essentially, and this kind of exercise where you sit down and you envision yourself 10 years in the future, and we're not trying to be practical or realistic. You're literally designing your life with no limits, without limitations, without like trying to be logical or practical or could this happen or could it not. You're literally using your creativity and your imagination, and you are just designing and creating exactly what you want your life to look like in 10 years. So you start with, where are you waking up? What does your house look like? Where do you live? Who is your partner? What are you doing for work? Step by step through your day, with as much detail as you possibly can, to really just design and use kind of future forward thinking, so that it can help with the decisions that you're making in your life today. Are they aligned and moving towards the direction that you want to go? Sure, certain things you might not know, but essentially it's kind of like using this paintbrush and painting this beautiful picture that is your most ideal life that just makes you so happy and fulfilled from the inside out. So we're going to sit down and do that this evening because I've been wanting to do that for like a week or two now. And I feel like that's a good way to kind of start off a fresh week. So that's kind of where I'm at. I may read a little bit today. We'll see. Again, not putting any pressure on myself there, but I do want to kind of set myself up so I can feel like I'm supported. That's not the right word. Prepared, I suppose, so that I'm prepared for the week ahead. And then I will add in some of the clips from yesterday at the farm, you guys, because it was just so good. So I hope you guys are enjoying your weekend and relaxing. If you can get outside to view some of the beautiful autumnal leaves, having a time there, just biving. Oh my God, boo. Just living your best fall life. Hello, boo. I'm going to curl up with these dogs, chill out, you guys, and I will chat with you very soon. And you stayed up to see the sun. I couldn't wait that long. Who's gonna get up to wake on? Who's gonna get up to leave for? Who's gonna pick up what we've done wrong? Who's gonna get curled up, currently having a little nap on the couch, you guys. He is so freaking cute. And Tino's on the pillow that he matches. Love that for him. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching this kind of life update and weekend at the pumpkin patch video. I so appreciate it. And as always, if you guys enjoyed this video, I encourage you to like, share, and subscribe. I can't wait to dive into October and spend the rest of my favorite season here with you guys doing all of the festive activities. So I'll see you guys in my next video, and I'm so excited. Thank you again for watching. I'll see you soon.